If you've been following progress on my tool, OpenVAT, you already know this thing started as a way to bake animation into textures for game engines. But my latest release of version 1.0.4 is where it's really starting to feel like a one-of-a-kind tool and a proper platform for advanced Vertex animation. The big feature in this release is custom Vertex attribute encoding. You can now bake any per Vertex attribute over time, not just position and normals. So you can think of stuff like distance, velocity, or ID, or maybe something like phase offsets, blending masks, or damage weights. The only limitation right now is these attributes have to be defined in geometry nodes with a named attribute node or through the output. The attributes have to be float outputs, and you can verify these through the spreadsheet in the geometry nodes view. If you see a point attribute that's a float and you have a constant amount of vertices in your mesh, you'll be able to encode this attribute. When you do this, your remap data becomes associated with that attribute. So this allows you to encode not just 0 to 1, but any float value, negative or positive. In the same way that position is recalculated, you can extrapolate these in Engine. Or if you just want the raw data, you can use the new EXR 32-bit per channel uncompressed output. I'll show you how to use a few of these in detail in upcoming videos, but I'm kind of curious to know what you would encode. Leave me a comment and tell me what kind of per vertex data you'd want to animate or sample in an engine shader. So I mentioned the new 32-bit EXR output. This is an output for raw data. This can be normalized 0 to 1, but also gives you the option to not normalize the values. In this update, I also added a single row layout. This just means that the data is exactly the vertex count in X and the frame count in Y. I was previously rounding everything to nearest power of 2 values because this makes sense in my workflow, but there are a lot of advantages to stripping it to this exact X and Y. OpenVAT is still fully open source and totally free, and it's just me building this. So if it's helped your workflow or if it's saved you time, you can now support development through GitHub sponsors. Or just like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might think it's cool. I have more examples from Blender, more engine examples, and some really cool custom attribute demos on the way. And I want to say thanks for all the feedback so far. I just want you to know we're just getting started.